For me, it's about the law and people. How am I supposed to quantify the value of these things when I don't have evidence?
I'm sorry.
And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. You say one thing, she says another. So who am I to believe?
Justice with truth.
Either you make the decision or I make the decision. You won't like mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Daniel Okoye is suing Margaret Ellis in the amount of $20,000. Mr. Okoye claims the defendant came to him with a development scheme that would gentrify the neighborhood and says she vilified him on social media when he didn't support her plan.
Mr. Okoye?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I understand that you are a preacher, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about the congregation, the church, your mission, how it reached out to the community?
Well, we have maybe 500 members. We have a neighborhood outreach program. We have a shelter on the facility.
Wow.
We feed the hungry on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Mm-hmm. And we basically participate in all activities in the neighborhood. We live in a very low income area. That's where our church is.
Okay. And how long, I understand that you started the church with your wife?
No, we didn't start the church.
Okay.
We've been on the church for 8 years, me and my wife's Grace.
Oh, I see, okay.
We worked hard to develop the church.
Understood.
We devoted our whole life to the church.
In your responsibility as a head pastor, is it your obligation to basically make sure all of these extra benefits and programs are running smoothly and to do outreach to the community?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And how is your relationship with the community?
We have a wonderful relationship with the community. Although it is a low-income area, we have a very good outreach program.
Okay. Now, Ms. Ellis, I understand that you were a member of this congregation.
Hi, Your Honor, yes.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about the congregation, its mission, why you joined it, what it stands for?
It's a small church, well, somewhat small. However, I was involved with certain aspects of the church, like helping feed the homeless and different things like that. Whatever the pastor needed, I would assist and help,
Okay.
interject or whatever.
And I understand you're a real estate agent.
Yes.
Okay. Now, why choose that church?
Well, I mean, I listened to some of his tapes, and he did teach the Word of God that I believed in and how I grew up.
It sounds like really it's a wonderful congregation.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm not seeking vengeance for Miss Ellis. I'm just seeking the truth and justice.
So then what went wrong? What happened, in your own words? Obviously, I have both of your statements, and I know you have evidence, but what happened?
Well, she came to me with a development scheme. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it, and I took it home, and I prayed on it. And it came to me in the spirit that this wasn't what the community needed. Mm-hmm. It was gentrification. It was taking away from low-income people and building high-rises. Mm-hmm. I got a rendering of the...
Okay, yeah, you can give it to Cinder. But what did she want you to do?
She wanted the church to approve her
Oh, I see, to be a sponsor.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
yes, Your Honor.
I see. Like to kind of like support it. Is that what you were looking for?
Yes, exactly.
To have a pastor approve it and put the name of the congregation so at least it had community support.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. And you decided not to give your approval, your personal approval, as a pastor of your congregation because you said it would affect low-income people where they were living. Explain that a little more.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, the development is for people with more wealth in our community.
Okay. Would it kind of destroy some of the apartments or some of the locations?
If the people that in the community, if this development come in, they would have to relocate. And they could not afford to come back. And we would lose members to the church. She has already caused me to lose members.
So did you explain this to Miss Ellis?
Yes, I talked to her.
Okay.
And I told her, when she called and told me about it, I told her, I said, well, there's nowhere for the people in the community to go. I don't expect them to sleep on the street.
Okay. And then what happened after that? So you said, respectfully, Miss Ellis, I can't put my name on this because it will really, it will displace a lot of our own church members. So what did she say when you...
When I turned down the program, she looked me in the eyes and told me that she would get revenge from me for doing it.
Okay. All right. Did you believe her?
You know, I didn't pay too much attention to it. I just went on with my work.
Okay. And then what happened? Just
Then I looked
accelerate.
on the internet. She had posted a lie about me.
What did she say about
She posted a lie about I was embezzling money from the church.
Okay. How much were you embezzling?
It was $500.
It's a lot of money, right?
Well, Your Honor, the $500 came from, on Sunday, they called and told me that the stove at the church had broken.
Huh.
And I didn't have time to go to the deacon board because we had to feed people on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I went in my pocket and paid for the stove.
Okay.
Coming up on Justice for All.
Any rumors about him flying, that there's something wrong with the pastor?
Not monetarily, but,
But
you know.
like,
we'll
but
call-
like what? What rumors?
I don't know, just whispers, but
Whispers.
nothing definitive.
Whispers are so deadly.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Daniel Okoye, who is suing Margaret Ellis for defamation.
Did you have to get permission, I would imagine, to do this?
Well, I didn't have
Did you call
time.
somebody?
But I told the deacon in the church after I had purchased it.
And what did the deacon in the church say?
He told me just take the money out of the
So he
congregation
understood
and
it was an
reimburse
emergency.
myself.
So he understood it was an emergency.
Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I imagine that most churches, well, you have to, by law, because of the type of nonprofit corporation you are, you have to have some kind of reporting disclosure or a board that agrees to certain emergencies like this. Was the deacon the person you went to on financial emergencies? Like he would be able to approve it?
In most cases, Your Honor, but for something for this amount of money, I could just do it out of my pocket.
Oh, I see.
and
Did you
get
guys have a
reimbursed.
limit? Did you have a limit?
Yes, I had a
for
$500 limit.
Oh, I see. So you, as the pastor, would any other board members or anybody else who work, maybe the director of community affairs, do they also have that privilege?
No, just the pastor, just me.
Oh, okay. All
You
right.
took
So
money from the church.
Okay,
without
I took
one second,
money-
Miss Ellis, one second. So the stove broke, you had to feed people from the food bank, you needed to get a stove, so you went out and got it replaced right away.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you told the deacon said no problem. Did the deacon and you then later on report it, for example, to your treasurer?
Your Honor, the deacon did probably done that, but it was no problem.
So this was an emergency, as you said, the stove broke down, you acted impulsively, not impulsively, but you acted in a hurried manner to make sure you would be able to feed. Did you think about maybe calling somebody to fix the stove, or was the stove old? I'm trying to understand why go out and buy a new one.
The stove was probably 30 years old, Your
Oh,
Honor.
I see. So you, as you said, you had that privilege to spend that amount of money. You went out, bought a new stove. Was it delivered the same day?
No, Your Honor, it was delivered like on a Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so the Tuesday before the Wednesday.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
understand. I
Yes, Your
got it.
Honor.
All right. So you told the deacon had said, okay, go ahead and do it. I imagine that obviously because you're a nonprofit corporation, the deacon had to pass that through like your financial, your treasurer. Did he do that? Did he take those steps?
Well, he probably did, Your Honor, but he reimbursed me my $500
Oh,
right
he's
away.
the one who reimbursed you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I see. Did he like Zelle you directly or electronically?
No, he just, out of the petty fund, he just paid me the $500.
Okay. So he paid you in cash?
Yes, Your Honor.
I understood. Okay. All right. Essentially, you're saying she posts what about you?
She found the receipt for me getting the $500. And she
Okay.
posted half of the receipt and told the people in the congregation I had embezzled the money.
Your Honor, it was a
Yes,
bank
she did.
statement. It was a bank statement.
One second, that you had embezzled the money.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, that is embezzlement.
Okay, hold
Without
on
permission.
for a
I got
second.
receipts.
You're a pastor. You can't do
Okay,
that.
Ms. Mills, we'll talk about what embezzlement is and the definition, the legal definition in a minute. So she posted what? On social media?
Yes, on social media, around the community, everywhere, Your Honor.
And then that you had embezzled $500.
Yes, I was a fraud.
What the heck could he do with $500?
Your Honor.
Like, I mean, no, I'm just asking you a question because I'll get to your side of the story, but just how was he going to benefit from 400? I mean, we know the world we live in, everything is super expensive.
Yes.
$500 ain't going to get him far. So
Right.
$500, really embezzlement? Had he done this before? Did you have facts that he had done something contrary to his mission and his promise to the community?
No, not to my
knowledge.
knowledge.
Had he ever took things that weren't his from the church, the congregation?
Not to my knowledge.
Did you ever hear that he stole money, the petty cash on Sunday, anything like that?
Not to my
Were there
knowledge.
any rumors about him flying that there's something wrong with the pastor?
Not monetarily, but,
But
you know,
like,
people
but
talk.
like what? What rumors?
I don't know, just whispers, but nothing
Whispers.
definitive.
Whispers are so deadly, aren't they?
I know, yes, but I never repeated any of that.
Oh,
so,
you didn't, because you're a good, God-fearing woman.
Absolutely,
right?
Your Honor.
But so we both agree, as regular human beings living in 2025, $500 couldn't have gotten them that far, right?
Right, yes.
And he had never done this before, based on your facts.
Not
Never
to my
heard of him
knowledge.
taking a penny, even petty cash, nothing.
Right.
All right. So let's say your right hand went out and bought paper because you didn't have any printing paper, right?
Right.
And you had no idea you had no printing paper, but you need it because you're a real estate agent. You got to print out those things constantly, right?
Right.
So if your employee said, I don't know what to do. I know you had your big clients. I went out and I just bought the paper and I reimbursed myself petty cash, but here's the receipt. Would you fire that person?
Probably not.
Coming up,
Was he a popular pastor?
Yes, he was pretty popular.
Everybody in
and
the community loved him?
pretty much respected, yes,
Really? So
Yes.
anything that he said would go?
for the most part.
you're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Daniel Okoye, who is suing Margaret Ellis for defamation.
Why was it that what he did so bad in your opinion? And why was it embezzlement and something that betrayed, a betrayal to the community and to the church, that made you publicize this on social media? Like, what was so bad about this instance? If you would reimburse your employee from your own petty cash for doing something in an emergency, what is the difference?
Yeah, well, the development deal that I conveyed to him, I was really, of course, I'm a real estate agent, so I'm going to get a commission. And at the same time, I was looking out for the church. I would never see anyone homeless or not eating or anything. Gentrification is going on everywhere. I was trying to share with him that the church would benefit. I would not, he was looking out for the community. So he considered it, but then he backtracked and he said he prayed about it and he said no, he does not want to hurt the community.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just felt that he didn't see my vision for
But he doesn't have to see your vision,
No, that's true. That's true.
right? He's a pastor.
Yes.
He doesn't think about visions and beautiful buildings and beautiful parks. Because from what I understand here, it would have had a community park for people to share. It is a beautiful project. I did review it.
Yes.
But he didn't have to like it.
True. However,
So were you mad that he didn't give the support? Was he a popular pastor?
yes, he was pretty popular.
Everybody in
and
the community loved him?
pretty much respected, yes.
Really? So
Yes.
anything that he said would go?
For the most part.
Coming up,
Pastor, tell me what happened to the church after this was publicized on social media.
2/3 of my congregation left.
Okay.
I had to shut down the food kitchen.
you're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Daniel Okoye, who is suing Margaret Ellis for defamation.
Pastor, tell me what happened to the church after this was publicized on social media?
2/3 of my congregation left.
Okay.
I had to shut down the food kitchen. My wife, Grace, was a cancer survivor. She went back and got sick again. My daughter, Naomi, because of the community and the response from other people, she ran away from home, Your Honor.
How old is she?
She's 19.
Wow.
People that's been in my corner for years turn their back on me because of this one lie.
Wow.
It wasn't a lie. I mean, it was a truth.
It was a lie. You just heard the facts, Miss Ellis. Did you ever go speak to the deacon?
No.
And when he explained to you what happened, did you believe him?
I mean, after the fact, but I told him he could have come to me.
Did you retract what you said?
No, I would have
Did you tell
given
the
him.
sponsors that were sponsoring the food bank, please forgive me, I made a horrible mistake. Because of me, people are suffering. People who depended on meals on Wednesdays and Fridays, was it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Aren't going to get meals anymore. I mean, do you know how expensive food is now? People
do.
are lining up at food banks because they cannot afford, I mean, everything. I mean, whether it's a government shutdown, it's not. People can't afford food.
Yeah.
And funding food banks is by far the most important thing any of us could do. Is there anything else you want to add, Pastor Okoye?
Your Honor, I'm just not here for vengeance. I'm just here for the truth.
Why $20,000 then?
The $20,000 will help the food bank, help me get back.
Oh, so you don't want the money for yourself?
No, Your Honor, I want it for the church. She destroyed it. I want to build it back up.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez.
Under defamation, you said a false statement, you posted it, you knew it to be false, and it caused damages. It caused damages to him personally, to his reputation, to his daughter, and most importantly, to the church. And I find it so egregious that this court will rule in favor of the plaintiff for $20,000. Okay? Now, I thought about adding punitive damages because you were so sure it was embezzlement and you knew it wasn't embezzlement. But I'm not going to because I hope you realize what you did was wrong, and I hope you apologize publicly in the social media and retract everything you did. That would be what I would expect from a woman of faith to do. That's just a personal insight. It's not a legal insight. I'm not going to make you do that, but I would hope you do that. But based on the evidence, I will grant the plaintiff's claim for $20,000 and rule in favor of the plaintiff. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $20,000.
We're a church for the community. We understand people fall short.
Pastor, I apologize. It was greed. I was angry. My apologies.
I accept
Will you
your
accept
apology.
it? Okay.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.